Bible story time, 2 Kings 11, 1 through 21. As soon as King Azariah's mother, Athaliah, learned of her son's murder, she gave orders for all the members of the royal family to be killed. Only Eliziah's son Joash escaped. He was about to be killed with the others, but was rescued by his aunt Jehosheba, who was King Jerome's daughter. And Isaiah's half-sister, she took him and his nurse into a bedroom in the temple and hid him from Athaliah, so that he was not killed. For 6 years, Josheba took care of the boy and kept him hidden in the temple, while Athaliah ruled as queen. But in the 7th year, Jada, the priest, sent for the officers in charge of the royal bodyguard and the palace of the guards and told them to come to the temple, where he made them agree under oath what he planned to do. He showed them King Uzziah's son Joash and gave them the following orders. When you come on duty on the Sabbath, 1/3 of you are to guard the palace, another third are to stand guard at the Sur gate, and the other third are to stand guard at the gate behind the other guards. The 2 groups that go off duty on the Sabbath are to stand guard at the temple to protect the king. You are to guard King Joash with drawn swords and stay with him wherever he goes. Anyone who comes near you is to be killed. The officers obeyed Jada's instructions and brought their men to him. Those going off duty on the Sabbath and those going on duty, he gave the officers the spears and shields that had belonged to King David and had been kept in the temple. And he stationed the men with drawn swords all around the front of the temple to protect the king. Then Jehoiada led Joash out, placed the crown on his head, and gave him a copy of the laws governing kingship. Then Joash was anointed and proclaimed king. The people clapped their hands and shouted, "Long live the king!" Queen Athaliah heard the noise being made by the guards and the people, so she hurried to the temple, where the crowd had gathered, and there she saw the new king standing by the column at the entrance of the temple, as was the custom. He was surrounded by the officers and trumpeters, and the people were all shouting joyfully and blowing trumpets. Athaliah tore her clothes off in distress and shouted, "Treason! Treason!" Joiada did not want Athaliah killed in the temple area, so he ordered the army officers to take her out between the rows of the guards and kill anyone who tries to rescue her. They seized her and took her to the palace, and then the horse gate, they killed her. The priest Joiada had King Joash and the people make a covenant with the Lord that they would be the Lord's people. He also made a covenant between the king and the people. Then the people went to the temple of Baal and tore it down. They smashed the altars and the idols and killed Mattan, the priest of Baal, in front of the altars. Joiada put guards on duty at the temple, and then he, the officers, the royal bodyguard, and the palace guards escorted the king from the temple to the palace. Followed by all the people, Joash entered by the guard gate and took his place on the throne. All the people were filled with happiness, and the city was quiet, now that Athaliah had been killed in the palace. Joash became king of Judah at the age of 7. If you enjoyed this story, share it with others on social media. You can also find me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, My Buddy Jimmy, on YouTube at My Buddy Jimmy 101. And if you would, give me a rating for the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines, across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.